Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Diane in Stitches. I'm Diane. This is a sewing channel all about my sewing life, so you'll hear what I've made, what I'm going to make, and also any fabrics and patterns I might buy. And hopefully you'll find it all interesting and pick up some hints and tips. So this week I've not got any finished garments to show you, even though I did actually start something and I was well on the way finishing it when I hit upon a little bit of a problem. You can't see it, it's on the mannequin there. It was the Miley top by Lock, and I was going fine and the instructions were okay and I was plodding along nicely. And then I got to the last part of there's a flounce along the bottom. I'll pop some pictures up so you can see what I'm talking about. But what I'll do, I'll just bring it over. So it's quite a, this is a viscose I got from Barry's in Birmingham last year. Little bit fiddly to work with, but I've managed, and I'm quite pleased with the process that I've gone through to certain aspects of it. On the back I did a lovely rouleau loop, helped to stay in place with the good old Wonder Tape. The sleeves have got a flounce on the bottom, a split flounce. And it's got two ties, and you attach the longer one there, and then there's a placket goes over the top, and you pull that up so it makes it sort of gathered up, and then you tie it to a shorter strap there. And I also, first time ever, it said about neatening the edges of the flounce. Now I tried it on the side and it didn't work, so I took that out, but along the bottom I did, I don't know if you can see it properly, I set up the overlocker and did a rolled hem. Some of it's a little bit iffy in places, but first time I've done it, set it all up, because I've neatened all the insides with a 3-thread overlock. So I've actually done more on this overlocker than I did with my brother, because I only ever did the 4 assembling stretch fabrics and neatening edges on woven. I've never done a rolled hem before, so I got that done. Then came the last instructions were to join the side seams of the hem flounce, and I picked the piece up and immediately noticed on the pattern piece that I'd traced off and placed, I'd left it on the pattern, on the fabric piece, and it said cut 2 on the fold, and my mind just went, oh no. And I'd only cut 1 flounce, so I haven't got enough. I've done that before. I placed everything out on the fabric and thought, right, and I need 2 of those, and I need 1 of those, and that needs to go on the and I'd got it all. And then I took all the pattern pieces off, and then my mind must have just gone a blank, and I forgot that I needed 2 of those, of the flounces. And I had literally, I had 1.5 meters, and that's what the pattern said it was requirement. I'd literally got scraps left. Nothing that I could even piece together to make a piece for the other half of the flounce. So that's had to go. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go with that, whether I can get, I did a Google search last night, Google image search, to see if I could find any more of this, and I found some, but it was a different colourway. So that's this week wasted really, so hey ho. So as I say, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that now. I'll just have to put it away, see if I can find some more fabric. They do have it's Leon's, I think, the people who are sort of Barry's. There's a couple of shops. There's one in Manchester. I might contact them, send some pictures and see. Well, I might see if Barry's is still open for a little while and see if they've got any more. But I'm not holding out much hope. The alternative was I was going to get some plain viscose and see if I could just do that. But then I would probably be better having take the sleeve flounce off to match it. It'd look a bit odd with just plain on the bottom. So I'm not sure with that now what's going to happen. But the overlocker, by the way, was absolutely... I made a change, and you obviously don't need to adjust any tension. I've just made the change and the stitch came out absolutely. I'm quite pleased with that rolled hem. I shall certainly do more of those at some point. I did mention last week about this trim catcher when I'd pointed out on YouTube. Someone was demonstrating it and said, "Oh, they're available on our website." And I mentioned this to the lady in the shop where I bought it, and I said, "I'm really surprised that they don't provide one when you're paying this much." And so, although they are £25 odd, I think. She did say, I think she was trying to encourage me to buy the machine. She said, "Well, we'll throw in a trim trap for you." So I did actually get that free. I didn't have to buy that, which I thought was a bit. I just think it's for what it is, and it's not that good. Everything I've found, all bits going down behind it, and anyway. But I'm delighted with the overlocker anyway, so it's not a problem. But I'll just say what I'm wearing as well. This is I made it, I think, last year. This is they're called Copper Creek patterns now. It was Dibby, Do It Better Yourself, DIBY Club. And then they folded and then they reopened. Someone took them over, and the Copper Creek. And this is the Anything But Basic Tea, which is a free pattern. Still, I think it is still free. This was about the third or fourth version that I made after sort of finding out the fit and trying a full bust adjustment, and then deciding on lowering this, putting a space here, lowering it down, which brought the bust point in the correct place. But it's still something strange going on up here with this one. But it's I think this cotton jersey was from probably Pound Fabrics, but these are quite long. Because with my the classic, I made a classic tee, which was my first V-neck, and I shortened that. And then when I made my Keep It Simple, the last V-neck I made, in the navy, I also shortened that one a little bit as well. I think I prefer the shorter length. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back. I was going to do another Keep It Simple from Pattern Emporium, but I preferred the fit of the classic tee by Love Notions. So I'm going to do another one of those. I've got some purple cotton jersey. And I'm going to do the scoop neck. Now the cutting out, because that's the other thing about Pattern Emporium I noticed. If you do she's got the crew neck, and then if you have a scoop neck, the back's different, and it's sort of, the shoulder ends in a different place. You sort of, as you go, if you go down the, sorry, I'm setting the tracking off again. If you go down with the scoop, you get a different shape back neck as well. Anyway, I'm going back to the classic tee. So this is the pattern. And I think I'm going to try the scoop. It's not much low, well, it's about the same as where the V-neck ends. So I don't think that wasn't too low. So I'm going to go with the scoop rather than the crew neck. And what I did with this one, I lengthened, I did the lengthening between the armpit. Sorry, with my first classic tee I did lengthen the space just above the end, just above the armhole, which brings the bust point. There is a bust point. You can hardly see it actually. There's a bust point marked on here as well. So that added, I think I added 1 inch. And I was going to take on the lengthen shorten line, take it back off, but I thought I'd see how it fitted, and what I did in the end was I just took it off the bottom. I just chopped it off the bottom, and I think I'm going to do the same again, because where it goes down and it sort of flares out to fit your hip, if I take that up, there's going to be more fabric further up from my hip than it should be. So I think I'm just going to leave that and chop it. I think I chopped a couple of inches off last time. So that's my next plan. And then I've washed this morning the black PK cotton that I'm going to then start Keith's polo shirt, which is the Sombrio. I've got the Oliver polo, I think it is, from Love Notions or Sinclair, but the fabric requirements were a bit vague. So it's just a polo by Thread Theory. So that's going to be in the black PK, just as a trial. It was only cheap fabric. So the only other thing I need to mention is some fabrics that I've received this week. I'd placed an order with Pound Fabrics, which arrived last week. But they'd also sent me another email with some other offers on, and Keith had he'd asked a while ago, he said, can you get hold of any cotton madras fabric? And I had seen some and I'd not ordered it, but they had some on the special offer on this week. So we've ordered that and a couple of other things as well, which I'll go through. But also my Sherwood's fabric order arrived, the one that I ordered weeks ago, which was on 50% sale. So I'll show you those. And when I said, I've only ordered 2 or 3, there's actually 5. And I was going to go to Sherwood's this weekend. I was going to go on Monday, and then we sort of changed and thought we'll go Saturday. And I've just decided I've got all this. I've still got my stash that's, from before. I really should not be wanting to buy any more fabric. I'd better not go, so that I'm not tempted. So I made the decision probably that we're not going to go down. But what I'll do, so I've got some fabrics here, another haul. I've really got to stop or sew faster. But anyway, so the first ones, I'll just go through these Pound Fabric ones first. They both came yesterday, I think it was. So they've got some £1 a metre fabrics. It was they're a cotton modal, 51 modal, 49 cotton, 95 grams per square metre, and they're sort of a nice sort of stripy texture weave, slub weave. They are a bit thin. They're, what did I say, 95 grams per square metre. So they are a little bit on the thin side. But it might, so I've got no idea, but it might do for muslins or just an overshirt that you can wear a t-shirt underneath. And I got 2 meters, and it was, I say, £1 a meter. Or a cover up, not that I go to the beach or a pool, except on holiday, and I don't know when we're going on holiday again. So there's the light blue, and I also got the same in a navy. The navy doesn't appear to be as transparent as the as the light blue one, but I just thought they were quite nice, like a linen-y effect. Now the madras that they'd got, 100% cotton madras, these were £6.50 a metre, and Keith just wanted some shirts. And he is a bit into, he's had a couple last year, a couple of bright shirts that he found some fabric when we were in Harrogate, and he said, "Oh, I'd like some shirts out of these." So, and they are quite in your face. So when these came yesterday, I said, "Are you sure?" He went, "Oh yeah, they're okay." So this is the first one. That's the green, and then we've got this one. So you'll see him coming in those, no doubt. So again, as I said, I just got 2 meters of that, so they were £6.50 a meter. So that's those done. Now the Sherwood's order came as well. I'll just go through those, and there's one of them that I think it's one of those, what was I thinking, but I'll explain when I get to it. I'll go in reverse order, go with the last one first. So these are all Lady McElroy, and this is a Chalice lawn, and it was a remnant. There's 1.7 meters, dotty about dots it's called. So it's just a navy background with white dots, and that's nice and swishy. That's 100% viscose, and it's 85 grams per square metre, 140 centimetres wide. So I quite liked that. Just get the paper back on. And then another, I couldn't find this on the, I think must have sold out, but this is it is a viscose, and it's called Diamonds in the Dark. Not normally a green pair. I don't buy a lot of green or wear a lot of green, but because I've got this green coat that I'm going to be obviously doing at some point before winter, thought I'll just try a few more. But it's got blue in it anyway, so it goes. And I quite liked that. I think there's a green on that little bit of that colour chart that I did on that freebie thing online a few weeks ago. And then this is another viscose Chalice lawn, and this is called Nairobi. Bit of a animal print. 140 centimetres wide, 85 grams per square metre. So that's, I've been wanting to have a go with some animal print. I've not got any animal print whatsoever. And that's a black and a sort of a creamy background and a taupe spot and a black spot. So I thought that was quite nice. And another animal print. This is a Lady McElroy. They're all Lady McElroy. Baby Cub, Blue Moon. So it's just a blue background with black animal print on it. Oh, sorry. The remnant was 1.7 meters. The blue, that's the blue dots. The diamonds, I got 1.5 meters, and then the animal print ones, I got 2 meters, and they were already reduced, and there was 50% off. The total order was 50%, and I think they were already half price from what they should have been ordinarily. I mean, the whole order should have come to £78, nearly £79, and it was £44, including postage, for all these. Now, the final one, get your shades ready. This is actually 100% cotton. 140 centimetres wide. Didn't give the grams, the weight. I got 1.5 meters of this. And it's a Marley Care lawn. And it's called Tulip Ballet. And the colour is green, it says. They had a different colour. But I'm going to have to stand back. The only problem here was that there wasn't a scale measure to say how big this print was. They were all just, you just could not tell how big. You can see what's going to come, can't you? There was nothing to tell you how big this print was. So I'm going to just open this out and show you. Crazy. I mean, you can only see where that green is there. That it's just mad. So I have no idea what that's going to be. I thought you just could not tell at all how big that print was going to be. So that's my little haul for this week. So as I say, I don't think I'm going to go to Sherwood's to buy any more, although they do say, I got an email saying they've got better offers, you know, fantastic offers, bigger discounts than they've done before or whatever. I think, you know, I just can't justify it at all, so we'll see. So I think that's making up for that for last week, doing an over length one. I'll just leave it at that for this week now. So as I say, I'm not sure what's going to happen with this Miley top, but I'm going to go back to t-shirts for a little while. I've got 2 more cotton jerseys in my 1 meter length for short sleeve summer t-shirts, and then the rest in that cupboard. Well, it will be even more woven now. The rest in that little box, rather, in the unit here is wovens. And some of them are old ones, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. So the other jerseys I've got are all in the winter box, where I've got 2 meter length ones for long sleeve t-shirts. So I've got enough to keep me going. So I'll call it a day for this week now, and just try and work out what I'm going to do with all these. I need to retrace for my classic tee, so I'm going to trace the scoop neck out, and then hopefully I can get that started, and then Keith's polo shirt, and then we'll see where we are when I've got those done. So I'll say goodbye for this week. Hope everybody has a good week, and hope you all have a good weekend and get lots of sewing done. Thank you all for coming, visiting, commenting, liking, subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the channel to find other people who are looking for sewing content. So I'll say goodbye for now, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.